All right, welcome to End Hype. We are live. We're streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. So if you're catching this broadcast before we jump into it, share this out. And if you have a question or you have a comment in the stream. Let's get this thing going. I want to see who we have here live before we hop into the content. So this is going to be great. And this is going to tie in to the campaign that we're building up to right now, the ultimate product launch campaign. So if you're following me on Instagram or you're following me just through Facebook or Clubhouse, you know that I'm working on something really special. And all of the content coming up is going to be about picking winning products, how we develop them, how we build the list, how we launch it, how we grow that business, and a little bit more. So there's some surprises in there. But so if you're not keyed into this, I'm going to be launching a product from scratch, and I'm doing it live. So it sounds like a terrible idea, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Bring in experts to help to show you why collaboration and team building is what takes you to the next level. But yeah, all the content's going to be supporting that, so everything makes sense. And I'm going to give away every tip, strategy, tactic, secret that I know to get this thing to work. I'm not even sure what we'll be making right now, but should be a lot of fun either way. So well, let's get into it right now. So transform your product ideas into a business reality. This is End Hype. All right. So what makes a product launch fail or win? This is the eternal question, because great products lose to well-marketed products every single day. I mean, as entrepreneurs, we love our ideas, right? Ed Catmull, the Pixar guy, he calls ideas ugly babies, right? They need to mature. But we love our ideas. And then I hate to see them just launch into silence. It's heartbreaking, right? Because I know all that excitement and passion and energy that went into taking that idea and making it real and then putting it out in the world, putting yourself out there, and then to see it just launch to silence is the worst. Oftentimes, this is where people come to me and they say, hey, Callye, I've developed this prototype, or I've developed this product, or I hate when they say this, is like, hey, I have a garage or a basement or a warehouse full of this stuff. How do I actually sell it? Because I launched it and nobody wants it. So almost every time, the basic product idea is good. For any idea, there is a market, right? It's just our ability to access that market is the check, right? It's the thing that divides between us succeeding and failing. So that's what we're going to get into today, because the secret isn't some trick or a complex product roadmap or expert product management, right? You don't need another certificate. Hell, you don't even need me. You don't need a fancy product development company or a product coach. You don't need a digital marketing strategist. You don't need to know any of those things to get started and to get a grasp on it. Now, if you want to go faster and you want to do something big, there's a lot of experts out there. There's a lot of information out there. But at the end, you don't need those super, super fancy things. We're just going to talk about simple human to human selling. We're going to use timeless strategies that worked 2,000 years ago, and they'll work 2,000 years from now. That's kind of my gut check on what makes a really, really great foundational strategy is, will it work forever? If you're basing your business on using Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, or you're like, hey, are Instagram Reels or TikTok the thing I should be focusing on? The answer is neither. You should find strategies that are in alignment with your mission and your vision that will work forever across platform, and they'll work with the internet without the internet, right? So ads and the internet are things that help us scale strategies that are timeless. So without without getting too far into that and ragging on uh, stuff that I use to scale and clients use this to scale, let's just get into something simple, right? So what makes a successful product launch plan? How do we win, right? Okay, so here's the first thing. Base your marketing strategy on customer pain points. Now, if you've listened to any of my content, you know that we build products based on customer pain points. So go out and talk to people, what's their issue, and figure out, does this product solve a problem that they have? Whether, even if that problem is significance or belonging, community, even if it's something really, really cool and it solves that innate human desire for novelty and variety, right? It's gotta do something for someone. And we figure out, hey, for our audience, this is something that's important for them. And we build products to help fulfill that need. But what's amazing is I don't see a lot of people marketing those products. So when I don't see a lot of people marketing products to solving those problems for real, right? And let me explain that a little bit. So every post, every interview, every email, every landing page, everything should explain how your product allows the target audience to achieve something and overcome real problems. And I'll be even more specific about that, is that it should explain how your product helps your customer become the thing that they want to become, right? Do they want to become more outdoorsy? Do they want to become more savvy? Do they want to become someone that's looked up to, respected? What do they want to actually become? The problems that they have are just obstacles in them becoming something new or evolving into something more, right? It's not just about measuring how much pasta you have. It's about helping them achieve their dietary goals with simplicity and less overwhelm, right? Great content marketers know the power of story, and we can sit inside that story and we can sell that transformation versus just selling simple, like it does this, it weighs this much. So selling features and benefits, which is where most people live, it's a comparison game. And a comparison game, it creates unnecessary competition. It's where people look and they price shop and they say, hey, this thing's 99 cents cheaper. This thing has free shipping. This thing will ship in 1.5 weeks. Your thing will ship in 2 weeks. You have very, very weak position in the market. So people jump in, they say, oh, my idea, it's got to be cheaper, right? Or I've got to spend more on ads, because they're thick in this competition game. And you can look back in the podcast catalog. I have a couple of episodes that are on competition. Competition makes the market. Competition is for losers. We talk about it pretty frequently. But look, there's 3 stages of product offering. And this is where we're going to go to this next level, right? So the first stage is egotistical, right? It's all about your idea. Your idea is incredible. Look at the amazing things that I've done. Look how smart I am. It's all about you. And remember, when your marketing is all about you, you better be incredibly influential. Your brand, your personal brand or your company brand better be enough to just push your product to market. It better be the only differentiator in the product that you release, right? So be ready to run ads and push your product into the market. If you're all about you, it's not about them. It's very hard to connect with people without pushing your ideas on them. And I mean, if you're Kylie Jenner or you're somebody super famous, yeah, you have huge reach. You can get some of those numbers. That's fine. I don't know those people. I don't have Kylie Jenner as a client. I just have regular people that have awesome ideas, and we try to get products to market and we try to sell a ton of them. So our next evolution is benefits. So people are always saying, oh, sell the features and benefits. You can go to any Amazon listing and you can see people trying to sell features and benefits. Like, this is how it will solve that problem. This is how big it is. These are the colors that are available, right? This is this is how it'll make your life a little bit easier, or this is how it will solve that specific problem, right? So yeah, we're addressing a problem. That's great. But this is what average products do. This is what normal businesses do. This is boring and it's still competitive. You're in the game at the vanilla table stakes level. You're not going to over index by being the same as everyone else. So again, then you're back to talking to Facebook about ads. You're back on Instagram trying to get shout outs or whatever the hell you think that you're going to do to get to the next goalpost for you, that next milestone of revenue or whatever you're trying to do with that product launch. But if we can evolve past simple benefits and features, we can move to transformational products. And this is super powerful. It is next level value, and there's so few people doing it. So if you know what your customer is trying to become, so you know their state that they currently are at, you know all the fears, the pains that they have, and you know what their intent is, what their goals are, what they look up to, what their dream about, what their ideal state is. That journey from state A to B is huge. It's huge, and it's too big to fill with your one product, but your product can facilitate that journey. And along that journey, there's lots of other products that maybe you can partner with those companies, right? There's lots of information that they need. There's lots of ways to communicate and aid them to achieve that change from state A to state B. But if we sell the story of them becoming what they want to be, and we actually deliver value that helps them achieve a transformational change, you're going to sell way more product. Your ads are going to be better. The creative is going to be better. The ways that you interview, your collaborators are going to be better. The ability for you to get PR, earned media, right? Get articles written about your launch is going to be easier. Everything is going to go to that next level because you're acting as a human, right? And you're actually helping people. You're not selling just a good product. You're selling a great opportunity. And this is ultra powerful. We're going to get really, really into this in the ultimate product launch. So I can almost just end the show right here. And I can tell you that the people that can master jumping between features and benefits and transformational change, that's the difference between scaling very quickly and getting lots of people to help you and building a movement and a real true legacy brand, and just having a great product that you have to push and you have to work at it really, really hard to hit those numbers, right? So one is a business, one is a movement. If you can find out what that formula is for you and your customers, I guarantee that with real effort, if you figure this out, you will be more successful than if you go the egotistical route or just the beneficial route. So boom. So that's point one. I know that was a little bit much, but we're going to go for some deep value on this episode. So the second thing that that divides launch winners from launch failures is treating launch like pressing a button. Boom. We're just going to launch this thing. Oh, I'm just going to post it on Kickstarter. Oh, I'm just going to put it on my Instagram. I'll just build a website and put it out there, and then I'll send it out an email to my list, and we'll just see what happens. Hope isn't a strategy, right? We hear that all the time, but that's not hope. That's just laziness. The majority of the Kickstarters, when I talk to people of crowdfunding campaigns, let's just say that, crowd equity campaigns, just general, we call private launches or soft launches, that I see fail is because they just build it in total stealth mode. Like, I'm not going to tell anybody about my idea. I'm not going to talk to anybody about it. And I'm just going to put it out there. And even people with large lists, and they haven't engaged, it's very difficult. The percent chance of being successful without really knowing what's happening in the market and engaging that community is very difficult, right? The percentage chance is low. So what I want people to do is I want you to start capturing emails immediately. Create a landing page, just something simple where you can get the email addresses. I don't care if you're selling. We got a comment from Mike. He just put his product on eBay and it started selling. That's fantastic. But to go to the next level and to launch additional products, you better be getting those email addresses. Same thing goes for my brother selling on Etsy or other ways of getting started initially. Make sure that you're capturing email addresses. Make sure that you have a landing page. You start communicating with people because they're going to inform what is good and what's bad about your product. So what we actually do is start capturing emails immediately, talking about the problems and that we have a solution coming up. Then we reveal parts of that solution. Then we're engaging and capturing email addresses so we can figure out how to scale, right? So even if you go onto a platform and you're wildly successful on Etsy, you want to figure out why am I wildly successful? Because now I want to do another product or an additional product, or I want to take that and I want to start doing private launches. I want to build a Shopify page, or I want to do a massive launch and I want to get it to Kickstarter. How do I take one success and grow it to the next success? Well, launches shouldn't be like pressing a button, right? We should be thinking about it as scaling from one win to the next win to the next win. And when we're just started, convincing somebody to even look at your information and giving you an email address is a great strategy to start. Like, what value would you need to provide, whether it's information or content or just a killer offer that's going to have somebody say, yes, I will trade the currency of the internet, not Bitcoin, emails, an email to get that piece of information. And if you can master that, I don't care if you have a successful product right now, if you can master getting email addresses for not shipping product out because your offer is so good, your offers with product will be even better and your launches will be better. But we need to learn as we grow. And this is one of the great ways is we need to create a process for capturing emails. So the next part of this is that if you want to go big, you need to treat your launch like an event, right? It's not just a thing. It's not just something that you turn on. People should be expecting it. How can you get people to not just want your product, but to look forward to learning more about it and look forward to purchasing it? How can you get somebody to even share about your product? If you can figure that out, that's what, again, divides failures from winners. So have a launch event, treat the start of the campaign like a party, set a launch date, build hype, right? Look, we can't end hype if nobody's excited about it in the first place, right? If we don't get people whipped up, how can we deliver, right? But capture the emails, right? Get your customer base involved in launch day. Use live stream video, right? Use social media, share it out, build a little community. Maybe you have a Facebook group. Maybe you have a Discord that you create. Maybe, think of ways that suit you and your customers so you can get people really, really excited, get them to share out, and you can reach new customers. So it's a really big deal. And then our third tip, our third factor that really divides winners from failures is this obsession. We have, I'd say, since probably the 2016, 2017 push of Facebook ads. At first, everyone thought like this wasn't going to be successful. I made a lot of money on the back of Facebook ads early, but people were really down on it initially. But now the pendulum has swung the complete opposite direction. People look at running social ads, Facebook ads, as some kind of cure-all. They have an obsession with cold traffic advertising. Like, hey, I'll choose cold traffic any day because word of mouth is hoping, and hoping's not a strategy. I'm like, Well, if you don't plan to have word of mouth and you don't understand how to engage people so you have virality built into your product for being amazing, yeah, I guess for you, word of mouth is a hope because, you know, you didn't put any effort into it. But look, it's not a cure all, right? Running ads is not an easy button. It's pretty difficult. There's a lot going on with it. So you have to engage your customers. You have to refine your message. You need to know what to write. And if you don't engage people, your copy is going to be mediocre, right? Your ads, when you do use them for scale, they're going to be mediocre, because if your copy and your creative is bad, it doesn't matter how good you're targeting or like how you're using the strategy of spending $2 a day or 5 or 10 or scaling to 100 or whatever you just bought a course for, you saw on YouTube, whatever those strategies are. If you don't know what to write and you don't know what to put in your ad, it's not going to be great, right? So when you dial in your offer with content and engagements, the ads will run far better, right? So we have run 6-figure launches with no ads, right? I sell product every single year with 0 ad spend, right? I have products that sell 7 figures. We don't spend any money on ads. Definitely don't spend any money on Facebook ads. And it just seems like every coach thinks that cold traffic to a lead magnet is going to be the thing to do. I really think that that is a factor, and it's something cool to try. And if you can unlock that, that's great, right? So I don't care if you're selling an information product or a physical product. It's nice to get those email addresses, but to think like that's going to translate into a percentage of sales when you haven't engaged people enough to give you any kind of word of mouth, I don't know. It's just not a viable strategy for me. It's a spend more strategy instead of a win more strategy. So you got to figure out who your audience is. Who do they already trust? Can you engage who they trust and who they listen to, those thought leaders? And can you create content around that and create a warm audience, right? Stop thinking that there is a tactic or a trick out there that's going to transform low effort into high success with high complexity, right? There's not a tool that you can buy. There's just not a trick, right? There's just a lot of very simple things, and these things will work forever. So if we can focus on creating amazing products that people want to share because there's a shareability factor to them, we can use cold traffic to show those wins and show that transformation and show those testimonials, that social proof, and we can scale our killer offer with that social proof using ads instead of just saying, hey, I want to run my company like wish.com. They spend millions of dollars a day on ads and they're successful. So I'm going to come up with one product and I'll just run it like I'm wish.com. You're not going to be successful, right? So this is an oversimplification, but this is this difference between winners and losers. So following up on this, we have a really big campaign coming up. It's called the Ultimate Product Launch. If you would like, you can go to the redbluecollective.com website. I have a ton of information on this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through clean sheet of paper to launching on Kickstarter, and we're going to have live weekly check-ins. And I'm going to show you every step, every decision, every tactic, every strategy. I'm going to bring in experts to inform our decisions, and I'm going to show you how you can launch a simple product, right? One that doesn't cost you a fortune of investment to bring to market, and how you can launch it into even a crowded space. So no space is saturated for a great product. And I want to show you how to do it. It's kind of a crazy idea. I want to do it because I just see too many people running very expensive programs showing just a component of this. And I don't think people should pay $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 for this information. I think you should be able to come up with a good idea, validate it, launch it, grow a company. And once you hit that, let's call it 10, 20K a month revenue, you can call me up and we'll talk about scaling it. We'll talk about scaling your business or what we can do with additional products or other growth strategies. So at any rate, this has been End Hype. I'm out.